Permaculture is like a full circle holistic approach to living. It comes with different ways in which to approach communication, how to set up spaces so that they're practical for not only growing food, but for people to live well. It's bigger than food. My name is Juno. I'm the permaculture coordinator here at the Mystical Yoga Farm for this period of time, for this moment. I've been in a few different roles here in the past. I've been the kitchen manager, the volunteer coordinator, the operations manager, and now I'm here in the permaculture role and kind of just taking on a variety of different things. So just the other day, I finished some soil up here for the seedlings and filled up these planter boxes here in the back, which in the next day or two, pardon the mess, all these leaves are for a compost project that I'm working on. I can explain a little bit more about that in a minute, but yeah, back in those planters, gonna get some couple different varieties of chilies going, some cilantro, hopefully some more pumpkin. Our main aim here at the farm is not to grow so much food. It's more to grow things to enhance our food. Because we're having so many people come through here regularly, we don't really have the capacity to grow enough food for it to make sense for us to focus on annuals like carrots and cabbage and things like that. So we focus on perennial, which is a big thing in the permaculture world for those who don't know, which is essentially an annual is a plant that you have to get seeds from, replant every single year. And a perennial is one you plant once and it lasts like a minimum of 3 years. Some, up to 10, 15, if we're talking about fruit trees or blackberries, about 4 years for raspberries and blackberries and things like that. And the purpose for that is to keep things on a low maintenance, high yield. So that meaning that it doesn't take a lot of input from us to maintain, but we're able to get enough out of it to feel satisfied. So here's our compost system over here. It's a bit of a work in progress at the moment, but so we have it kind of always at 3 different stages. We have one that's already been pulled out over here in the corner that's a couple weeks away from being ready. I have some plans to mix some manure into it to kind of sometimes compost, if it's not being maintained actively enough, the cooking process will stop too early and not everything will be able to be broken down. And you'll have kind of like a 3/4 finished experiment happening, which is kind of what's happening over here. So I'll be inoculating this with some yummy goodness of different combinations of high nitrogen things like nettles and comfrey, as well as with some manure. And the high nitrogen is going to help it start that heating up process again, which is going to cause the decay to move forward. And so in kind of the phase behind that one is this one here in the middle. It's already been closed off. We're not adding food to it or scraps or anything to it anymore. And it's probably like a month and a half, 2 months behind where that one is. And those were the 2 that were already kind of in the process by the time I arrived. So it's taking a little bit of fixing because not every permaculture coordinator who comes here is necessarily passionate about soil. They might be passionate about fruit trees. They might be passionate about seedlings or propagating. Whereas soil is my main focus here, building healthy soil so that whoever else comes here has things to work with to keep feeding our plants. And then this is kind of the phase before. The kitchen comes and dumps their waste, and between me and them, we are adding carbon, so lots of leaves, or if you had dried grass clippings, or anything that's brown, really, some sticks if they're really small. If you make them too big, they won't really break down fast enough. Yeah, but anything that's brown and already pretty far along in the drying and decaying process is going to add carbon. The fresh food is all high in nitrogen. So as I was explaining before, the nitrogen is what's causing the decay process and is going to cause that smelliness if it's not kept in balance with carbon. So by adding a layer of carbon every time every couple times you dump your food, you're helping keep the smell and the pH in balance. Well, by keeping the pH in balance, you're keeping the smell under control. So that's what I'm about to do right now. Give it a nice cover. Pretty much a 1.5 to 1 by volume, 1.5 of carbon to nitrogen. It's usually a good ratio to keep things balanced. And yeah, that's why I was saying we have all these leaves. Just every once in a while, we'll all get together, go in the forest and grab a bunch of leaves and sticks, and then I don't have to worry about it for a couple weeks. What happens to the trash? This is our trash temple, or our bodega. And what you'll see on the shelves are what's called eco bricks, one of the few in places that I personally know of, especially in Guatemala, that is not exporting any trash at all. Period. Any kind. Metal, glass, plastic, cardboard. Everything's processed here. It doesn't leave the property.